Good day, students. You're welcome to another commerce class. My name remains Mr. Emmanuel. In this module, we will be completing the various means of payment. And first, we will consider payment through the bank. There are various means of making payment through your bank. And the first we will consider is the use of checks. A check is a written statement addressed by the payer to the bank for the payment to a third party. So, if you want to pay someone with a check, you write the check and you address it to your bank for the purpose of paying a third party, that is someone who is neither you nor the bank. A check gives the ability to withdraw from your account without you being present. A check can either be crossed so that you can only pay it into an account, or opened such that you can cash it over the counter. Another means of paying through your bank is the use of a standing order. A standing order is a written instruction given to the bank to make a payment on your behalf to a third party. Standing order is usually used when you are making payments at regular intervals. Say you have a supplier that you pay a certain amount of money every month or every week. Then you can issue a standing order that the bank would always honor at those intervals. Another means of making payment through the bank is the use of a bank draft. A bank draft is similar to a check, but it has more credibility. It is used for paying people who may not have belief in a check. A bank draft is a check that the bank writes against itself, but payable from your account. Another means of making payment through your bank is the use of a direct debit. In a direct debit, you would have signed the instruction and given to the seller, but the seller would only present it to the bank when it is due. A direct debit is used in cases where the amount to be paid varies. So in that case, you cannot issue a standing order. So you sign the direct debit for the seller who needs the money. He fills in the amount that comes due as at that date and takes it to your bank. When another time comes for him to receive payment, he's going to write the new amount that comes due. So take for example, this month he supplies you goods worth 250,000. So he takes from the direct debit note that you have given him in the past and writes 250,000. If next month the goods he supplied to you is 280,000, he takes another of the direct debit notes that you have given him and writes 280,000 and takes it to your bank. That is how direct debit is used for payment. The last means of payment through your bank is through credit transfer or bank giro. This is a means of payment now through electronic transfer. It is a means of transferring money from a person to a receiver by supplying the bank with the receiver's details. Just the way you do transfers with your phone. You put in the person's bank, the person's account number, and the amount, and you can send. You can either use USSD codes or use internet banking or mobile banking. Another means of payment is the use of post office. Yes, many people make payments through the post office. How? First is the use of postage stamp or postal stamps. This is used in making payment for small items or items that have small costs. Postage stamps can be reused. They are bought from the post office. And in Nigeria, Nigerian postal stamps comes in 50 naira, 100 naira, 200, 500. These stamps can be used in payments or transferred. The next means of making payment through the post office is the use of postal order. Postal order is also used to make payments of small amounts, and it comes in different denominations. But postal order is issued by the post office but not a legal tender. So despite the fact that many people would accept the postal order, it's no law that makes it compulsory for it to be accepted. A postal order is only valid for 6 months. Similar to a check, a postal order can also be crossed or not crossed. That is, if it is crossed, it must be paid into the bank. But if it is not crossed, then it can be cashed. A postal order cannot be transferred from one person to another. So if someone pays you with a postal order, you cannot give that postal order to another person. That is what it means that it cannot be transferred. You are the only person that can cash the postal order. Another means of making payment through the post office is the use of a money order. Money order is similar to a postal order, but it is used for paying large sums of money. When you have to pay your seller or supplier in a large amount. A money order is also valid for only 6 months and also cannot be transferred. A telegraphic money order is a money order that is sent in a faster means. So it is a money order, but it is sent in a faster means through a telegram so that it gets to the receiver on time. It has very similar features with the money order, but it is faster. It gets to the receiver on time because it uses a better means, a telegram. The last means of making payment through your post office is called a post office giro. Though not very popular, but the post office also keeps accounts for the public. So the use of a post office giro allows you to supply the post office with the details of the person you want to pay, and the post office will effect the payment. Similar to how you can make transfers with your phone, either USSD or internet banking. The post office can also effect payments the way the bank effects payments on your behalf. So at the end of this class, you can see the different means of making payments to your suppliers or to people that you owe an obligation. Either through the bank, they offer several means, or the post office, several means. And you will recall that in our last class, we mentioned the first means of payment, legal tender. Thank you.